for the sake of time and to be mindful of your time. So we will try to end at exactly 6:30, but I want to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for signing up to participate in the 1891 Connect workshop. A lot of this workshop will be some training videos, and we will do a hands-on walkthrough of some of the features for the website. So at any point in time, if you all have questions or concerns, please feel free to either unmute yourself or show yourself on the video, or drop your questions in the chat, and we will try to get those answered for you all. Again, please feel free and do not hesitate to ask questions as we go through this process. So again, welcome. We will do today we will cover a brief introduction of the system. We will cover event management and tracking attendance. We will show you some of the membership features once you are a part of our organization on the 1891 Connect website, and then we will walk through student organization registration, and then we will try to address any remaining questions that you all may have. So, just so that you all are aware, 1891 Connect is easily accessed through by simply typing in 1891connect.ncat.edu. We have found that the website does not work with Internet Explorer or Microsoft Word, so please try to utilize Firefox, Google Chrome, or Safari in order to access the website. So now I will show you all a brief intro video.
I'm here to take you through a brief walkthrough of your engaged community. Thanks for joining me. Today, I'll be taking you through a brief tour of some of the highlights of the site. We'll start with talking about some basic site navigation. We'll talk about how to keep track of your personal involvement, how to navigate through organization and event pages, and if you're a student leader, we'll also talk about how to manage your organization's page and content. So we're going to go ahead and dive right into our training community. When you go to your campus's community, you'll probably first see a screen that looks similar to this one. If you've not yet signed in, you'll see the ability to sign in the upper right-hand corner. Before you do anything else, you'll definitely want to log in. Logging in will give you access to more opportunities and information within the community. You'll use your campus credentials to sign into your community. When you log into the community, you'll land on your community homepage. I want to bring your attention to the upper right-hand corner of the site. Clicking on your initial or your photo in the upper right-hand corner opens up what we call the user drawer. The user drawer is where you can manage your personal involvement and account within the system, such as viewing your event or membership history, viewing your notifications, or revisiting any form or event submissions. Finally, within your user drawer, you can also update your account by adding a profile photo or changing your notification settings or basic profile details.
That is kind of a very brief introduction of what the system looks like. We will now kind of cover what our system looks like at our university, excuse me.
Welcome, Aggies. This video will show you how to access and utilize 1891 Connect to search and join student organizations, update your profile, and find events going on around campus. This website works best with Google Chrome, Firefox, and Safari web browsers. It is also mobile-friendly and accessible. First, access the link by typing 1891connect.ncat.edu. Log in utilizing your Aggie One ID and password. If you have issues with logging in, try using everything before the @ symbol or contact information technology services. Here on the home page, this is the place for current information such as alerts, the yellow boxes that you see here, your current memberships, upcoming events, the latest news articles, and external campus links here. On the Events tab, you can view upcoming events, You can search for them, or you can filter them through certain themes, perks, or categories. You can also view past events that have taken place on or around campus here as well. On the Organizations tab, you can search for specific organizations, or you can sort them by categories. If you click on an organization, you can request to join it, or you can email the primary contact for the organization. We have also included social media links and handles for organizations who have them to find out more information about them. As a non-member of the organization, you will only be able to see a description of the organization, additional information such as meeting times, dues information, upcoming events hosted by the organization, or the officers of the organization. Members of the organizations can view the full portal based on the access the primary contact person has given them. This will include documents or discussions. The News tab allows you to keep your community members up to date with a blog style format and interaction. So you can click on the article, read it, and you can also have discussions about it. Clicking on the Forms tab, you will be able to see all current forms and applications that are public. You can apply for it, such as the Cost of Student Activities Fund, fundraising and soliciting, end of the year reports, etc. If you click on View Submissions on the top right, it will show you any pending submissions that you may have. Next, we will explore your 1891Connect profile. If you click on your name in the top right corner, you will see a drop-down menu that includes all you see here. If you click on the account button at the top, you will be directed to your personal profile, where you can update your information, change your privacy settings, change your notification settings, and select your interests based on things or events that you are looking for on or around campus. Next, we will go over the Submissions tab. Here, you will be able to check the status of all forms you have submitted for any organization. You will also be able to see your organization registration request. You can also view events that you have submitted. From the drop-down menu, you can also view your notifications and downloads you may have. You can also sign out of 1891Connect at the bottom of the user drawer as well. If you have any questions about 1891Connect or how to utilize it, please check out the external links on the home page or email us at osa.ncat.edu.
So now I hope you all have kind of a brief understanding and concept of what the system does and how it is utilized. I will now do a hands-on training and walk you through how to submit an event and also how to see and track attendance for your events. This will be very useful for you all in the fall as we have virtual programs so that you are still able to fully advertise your event, but you can also see how many participants have signed up for your organization to come to your event and how many, so that way you know which platform to utilize, whether it be Zoom or Google Meets. You have an idea of kind of what you need to do for your event. I know that if you have over between 100 and 300 people propose to come to your event, when you do your tracking of attendance, then your advisor will need to set up that Zoom link for your event. So just keeping those things in mind. So I will walk you all through that. So again, you can access the system by clicking on 1891Connect.NCAT.edu. How you will submit an event. So this is the homepage. You will click on events. Now you can do this one or two ways. You can click on events, or when you go on the homepage, you can click the organization you're a part of. Your memberships all show up right here on the homepage. So from there, or the events tab, you can submit an event. I like to use the method of going through my organization so I know who exactly I'm putting the event in for. So if I'm going in underneath COP, you will have access. Once you have access, based on your president and or vice president and your advisor giving you different levels of administration, you will be able to utilize this part of the system. But if you are given access for that, you will just go in, click on the membership, click on your page, and you will click on Manage Organization. From there, it will pop open a new window. And then from there, I click on the hamburger button and then Events. Once you click on Events, you can see, again, everything that you have submitted or has been submitted for that organization. You will click on the tab that says Create an Event. And then you will go in and type in the event title. So I will say sample event, just so you all can see this. There's always a selection of a theme. So whether it's art and music, an athletic event, cultural, fundraising, a group business event, a learning event, service opportunity, social or spiritual, I will just hit learning. You always want to give a brief description. It is part of the requirements. Anything with a red asterisk is a requirement that you have to fill out. So for the description, I will say this is just a sample event to show you how the system. Doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be detailed, but again, remember that other people can see your events when you post them on the website. So keep in mind, the more detail, the better it can be for some people. You also have the ability to put additional organizations co-hosting this event. So, and that's whether you're a member or not. So let's say 100 collegiate women is collaborating on this event with me. Charm City Aggies. You can tag as many organizations that are collaborating on that event with you. And then we will do student government as well. I don't know what kind of event this is going to be, but it sounds fun. So again, you can tag as many organizations who are co-sponsoring that event with you. This event submission will populate for, again, across the entire campus for everyone to see, and the other organizations won't also have to put in the event as well. It'll show for everybody. You will select your start date. So I will pick something in August. We will do something around the first week of school. Start at 12. And if you are putting in multiple events, you can do that all at the same time. So for those of you who are submitting for full body meetings, continuous Bible study, things of that nature, you will just click in add the date. If the flyer is the same and the event is at the same time, you will just add in another date each time. That way you are doing one submission at a time. Again, that is key. It takes less work off of you on the back end if you do the multiple submissions at one time. As you all will see, you can add a physical location. So you could put Student Center. If that were the case, and it'll populate either on a map or things like that, or you could do a physical location. You will also see that 1891 has now updated to where you can add an online location. So again, as we have virtual events, you can put your instructions for your attendees here, or you can put in the Zoom link or the Google Meets link here. That way people can just automatically click on it. So again, there is both options for programming. So that's kind of what the time and place is. You have the ability to show your event visibility. So you can either show it to the public, you can show it to only students or staff that have logins for 1891Connect. You can show it to only your members. So if you are having an internal game night or an e-board meeting and it's only for your members to know that you're having an e-board meeting, you can do that as well. You can also do invited users only. So for like our Greek organizations and or honor societies, if you are doing an induction and you want to track your attendance that way, you can do invited users only, where you select the members that you are sending the event to. So it's completely up to you. I will make this one public just so you all can see. There is ability to allow attendance at this event to be shown on your co-curricular transcript. I will reserve this button for leadership workshops, tangible things that people can actually speak to on their resume, and not game nights and or full body meetings don't need to be on their co-curricular transcript. You can then select event categories, and you can again select as many of these as you want. So let's say this is an academic educational event. It is also a campus-wide event. There is some community service involved. We will touch on diversity and inclusion throughout the event. This is also, we will have a social component of the event at the end as well. Again, putting in all the aspects of what the event is will help other users be able to filter out what kind of events they want to attend. In the previous video, people can, in their user settings, can tailor what kind of events that they want to pop up on their feed and be shown. So again, giving accurate details and depiction of what your event includes will be helpful for other students. If your event is not related to any of these, then please do not include it. We don't want you all to false advertise what your event is for the students. We also have the ability to select perks. So if we were having on-campus events and your event was, your meeting or your full body meeting is having free food, or you're doing giving away free stuff, or if you are an office and you are giving credit for that event, or it's worth credit for a class, you have the ability to select all those things. So let's say at this event, we will also have free food, and we will be giving away pens and notebooks, right? We would select free stuff and free food so that people can also filter when they search for events, kind of what their interest is. Like, maybe I am a struggling student, so I want to know where the free food is, and I can see all the events that are going on around campus where the free food will be. Additional information for event requests will be, is this event open to the public or non-members of your organization? So I will choose yes. In the event that there will be inclement weather, if we were hosting on-campus events, where would your alternate location be? So if we were doing the org fair outside, and then in the event of inclement weather, our alternate location would be Corbett. Is this a ticket event, or is there a fee for admission? If there's not a ticket request either in Brown Hall or online ticket format, then you will just again select that no, that everything is free. If there is a fee for admission, let people know upfront how much it is. So again, if I'm not following you all on social media and I'm looking on the website and I see that this event is happening, and then I found out it's a ticketed event, I would want to know in advance how much the tickets will cost me. This will always ask you to upload a confirmation of your 25 live requests. If there is a virtual event, you will, what I have done is just created a blank folder, a blanket document that just says it'll be via Zoom. So I can upload that for all of my requests going forward for Zoom. And then it will ask you to upload a copy of your flyer as well. So this is also how we will do flyer submissions for the year. So you just upload, again, a quick sample or the actual full version of your flyer. Students will be able to do two things. They will be able to access your room confirmation, and they will be able to access your flyer, the full flyer. As you will see on this next page, once you hit next, did I do something wrong? I think I might have did something wrong. Yep. I didn't put a location, sorry. So again, if you don't fill out something, it will tell you. And then that's it. There we go. No, I still did something wrong. Oh, sorry. I'm not filling it out. If there's no cost, put NA. There we go. So this next piece is part of your tracking attendance and event management part. You can select whether or not students have the right to RSVP. I like to select whether or not students can RSVP because it gives me an accurate head count off gate. It allows me for room for accommodations. And I can ask some alternative questions for each event. So who can RSVP for the event? Anyone that has an account or only certain invitees. So I will select anyone. If you have limited space, whether on campus or in a virtual capacity, you can limit the number of RSVP spots. So if you have Zoom and your max capacity for your Zoom can only hold 200 people, I would always take off gate how many e-board members will be on the call and how many other people will need to be behind the scenes. So let's say I have 10 e-board members. I would take that out of my number off gate so that only 190 people can RSVP for the event. And then those other 10 spots are already reserved for my executive board and or members. And you can show the remaining spots left to the public. I like to do that so people know that, you know, hey, we ran out or there's still some spots left. So again, completely up to you. Allowing guests allows for other students to register other students. And that's kind of what that is. So let's say I am coming, but my friend is also coming, but they're not gonna RSVP. I then can account for 2 people being taken off the RSVP spots. So you have that option as well. When RSVPing, you can also track whether or not students are part of other organizations. So if you click this button, allow respondents to represent an organization, which is something we will most likely be utilizing for our Council of Presidents full body meetings, you can let people know that you all can let me know what organization you're representing when you RSVP. So that is an option as well. There is the ability to ask RSVP questions. So when you all RSVP'd for this workshop, there were a few questions once you click the RSVP button. That is what this is. So again, you can ask students or your attendees in general different questions, whether it's a single line, a multiple line, a quick yes or no question, or a drop down menu. And I will just show you what one of those radio button questions looks like. So for your question, it could be, what kind of food do you prefer? So if we're doing this event with SGA and we are trying to, and 100 Collegiate Women, and we're trying to make sure that we have adequate food for each person that is attending the event, and we want to make sure that we have stuff for those who are either vegan, vegetarian, dairy-free, nut-free, all of those things, you can kind of ask questions in advance. So for those of you who like to do summits, either in your full body meetings or those big, large programs that you all like to do, that is what these options are for. So you can say, I am vegan, nut allergy, or other, right? Just to give you all kind of a hint of what that looks like. That again populates as your preview question. You can make this a required question for your student, for your attendees, and then, or you can also add in a description for each question. So like, it'll say, please answer right? And then that little brief description populates underneath your question. Again, you will always see a preview of what the question will look like here on the side. And then you can add as many questions as you all would like. Again, you have kind of a free range to kind of tailor your event submission as you would like. Then it will give you a next option. So there's two things. You can do a pre and or post feedback. When you ask the RSVP questions, that's kind of your pre questions. But then you also can ask questions after the event. So what this menu does is it will automatically generate or can generate an email survey after the event has concluded. So let's say after we had this event, we wanted to get students' feedback on what the event was like, what did they get out of it, did they learn, and take away the things that we wanted them to take away from the event. So by clicking on automatically send post-event feedback, that will generate the email for you to send for these questions to go out. Again, you can add a brief survey as to a brief summary as to what these questions are for, like, hey, thank you for coming, etc. That will kind of all be in the event. And then you can ask your questions here, like, thank you for coming to our event. Did you like the event? And then again, real simple feedback. So again, you can tailor this as much as you would like for post-event feedback. I think that this will be helpful, especially for those organizations who tend to struggle with trying to figure out what their members want and or are taking away from their events in order for you to know whether or not to either do the event again or to not do the event anymore at all in the future. Next, it will ask you to upload a cover photo. So this is almost like uploading your flyer. And that's what I do. I upload the flyer again because this is what students will see. This is what other people will see when they either click on 1891, when they download the app for events that are around campus. 1891Connect does come with an app where you can see events that are going on around campus. This is the graphic that students will see. So again, I always try to upload the same flyer. Now, it will only let you, it will only allow you to show a sample of the flyer. So I would select the most important part of the flyer. So like if we were doing the COVID-19 updates event with SGA and 100 Collegiate, then I would highlight this is the main focus for the photo so that this is the first thing people see and not necessarily the bullhorn, right? So uploading the information versus the actual visual of the flyer. Then you will crop the image and it'll give you a chance to preview of what your cover photo will look like for your event. If you approve, then you will hit next. If not, you'll just hit delete and redo it again. Then it will ask you to continue to custom fields. Mine is a little different because I have access, but just pay attention. It will ask you to continue to custom fields. These questions will ask you a little bit more details. So again, if you are applying for COSA and or you're having a contractor for your events, it'll ask you, are large crowds anticipated? Are you doing ticket sales at the door? Is food being served? Does this involve minors on campus? Is this event controversial or emotionally charged content? For those of you who like to do events and programs based on mental health, that is something I would select. Again, making sure that if we know whether or not this event is open to the public or non-NCAT students, faculty, or staff. So again, keeping up with those things. This is a requirement. And then again, making sure you know that you have all your stuff in either through 25 Log or through the Office of Student Activities /COP regarding your event. And you will just check that off. You will then hit next. It will give you the chance to review all the details you just put in your event submission. So you can go back through the details part if you missed something. That's kind of what that looks like. You can look at your cover photo again, and then your event verification. And then it'll go back and give you the chance to look at putting it on the co-curricular transcript or not. I'm gonna send this through the event. Well, no, I'll auto approve it. So your events will go through the review process. We will review those on an ongoing basis. We get automatic notifications when you all submit events. So again, submitting your event will be like submitting your flyer. That's how you will do that now. So 10 days in advance, 10 business days in advance is how that will still be conducted for student organizations. That does not change. And then once you hit submit, it will process it. Again, for this purposes of this training, I auto approved it. So that's why it's already populating up. Once you go through the event submission process and we submit it, we approve it on our end as the Office of Student Activities or the Council of Presidents, it can take up to maybe like an hour for it to populate up on the site for others to see it. So it's not an automatic, but it does take a little bit of time for it to kind of come up on the website. But again, for this purposes, I will show you this. Before I move on to this next part, I'm kind of address some questions in case. Oh no, she got it. Never mind. Again, feel free to stop me at any point in time. So this next part is what I like to see once we completed the event. So again, you will see that it has been approved once it populates up on your side of the system. You can see who can see it, so it's visible to the public, and anybody can RSVP. You will see the location, you will see the host organization, you will see what time it begins and what time it plans to end. You also, and students also have the right to rate the event once it is over. So you can rate events on a 5-star scale. If there are any changes you ever need to make to your event request, you can always click change details. If you also happen to not do the event anymore, or you decide to change the date or change the time, again, change your details, or if you're canceling it, just cancel the event and it will delete out of our system. Again, if you are canceling the event, it is important that you update it because we don't want students trying to show up to something either on campus or in a virtual capacity and no one else does. From here, if you all are given the access, you all will be able to see event attendance. So attendance can again be tracked in multiple ways through 1891Connect. You have your invitations and RSVPs, or we will be utilizing swipe cards and or scanners that student organizations can check out. And essentially, if you open up a spreadsheet and you open up this link to a different page that I just copied, it will open, sorry, that was my fault. Oh, it's because it hasn't popped up on here. But once it does pop up on here, again, it'll take about 30 minutes to an hour for it to pop up on the actual events page. But once it shows up on there, I can show you that you can open the URL and track attendees through that way with the use of the swiper. So I don't know because I just did it. So let me do this so I can still show you all this. Let me go into the one for today. So this is the event for now, right? Currently in progress, posted by the Office of Student Activities. We can see that if I go click into invitation and RSVPs, we can see how many spots we made available for people to RSVP to, how many students signed up, and then we can see again how many spots are remaining, right? So you can again filter through, you'll catch the email addresses, when people RSVP'd, etc. for your event. You can also download that Excel sheet. It comes in an Excel sheet, so it populates as this. Once you click download, it'll do that, where you can get all your information, or you can invite people to the event. Inviting people, again, my list looks a little different because I can see everyone in 1891Connect, but you can invite users from your organization, or you can invite users via email. So that's one way. And then let me see if I can pull this up. So if we were doing this event in person, it's not gonna pull up because I'm already in the middle of it. Great. Let's try this. Sorry. Okay, it's because of me and I have different access, so I can't show it to you all. But when you all open that link, it will allow you to, again, track attendance through there, or students can automatically just say like, hey, copy that. You can drop that link in a group me or a group chat and they can automatically say, yes, I attended that event, right? Your post-event feedback, again, that is where those, you can edit where those questions go out to, and people can, again, rank your event on a scale of 5 stars. You can send out the notifications, so it automatically generates the email, but let's say it's been a few days and you haven't gotten as much response as you would like, you can resend the notification by clicking on send notifications. So that's how the event submission process works for 1891Connect. Are there any questions regarding the event management and or tracking attendance piece?
Ms. Shantia?
Yes.
There was one question when you started to go through this, and I just want to make sure that everyone did not miss this. I'm going to ask it. I know you touched on it, but if you would go over it again. Mm-hmm. For in-person events, or when booking an event in general, will they have to book the room through 25 Live and also create an event in 1891Connect?
Yes. So you will still, for in-person events, you will still book your spaces through 25 Live. That does not change. That is how you know that you have the space for sure. Which is why the event management process asks for your 25 Live event confirmation. The two systems do not talk to each other. So again, the event management process kind of rules out how the flyer process used to work, where you all had to email us the flyers and things of that nature. Once you put it in, that's how we'll see your flyer. That's how we'll review your flyer. And then automatically, once we approve your flyer, your event is also now public for the student body to see. So it kind of cuts out some work for you all. That's how that works. Any other questions? Okay, so now I will show you The membership features. So if once you are a member of an organization, you will, again, go to your homepage, click on the organization you want to be a part of, or you are a part of, excuse me, and then click Manage Organization. It'll pop up another video. In this hamburger bar, you will see your organization's tools. And I'm just going to go through what some of them are, but I'm not going to go deep into detail. You can manage your organization's roster from here. So you can see the current students involved. You can see pending membership requests for those students and or people who want to be a part of your organization. You can do that. You will see those. You can see prospective people. So again, people who have submitted, and we can just go through and approve and or deny them. And you can also invite people. So if you all have your membership rosters, you can literally just take all their email addresses, add them all in here at one time. And then you click add email addresses, and then it'll populate those people and send them an email notification to be a part of the organization. So when we talk about org fair and things of that nature, if you do a quick roster of potential members' emails, and then you can dump them into your own page as well. There is a messaging system for each organization. You can send out mass emails and text messages through 1891Connect to your organization members. So that is the feature of the roster. The About section of your organization's membership covers again, you can change the formatting of your page. So the name of the organization is something you can't really change, but you can edit it if need be. So I have gone through and done primarily all of this for every organization based off of what transferred over from OrgSync, and then kind of capitalizing on your end of the year reports as well. The summary is what pops up when students are filtering through organizations through the organizations tab. So I'm gonna show you, this is the summary part. So again, 2 lines, no more. Anything else gets kind of cut off. So it doesn't have to be very detailed, very long, but no more than 2 lines or it gets cut off. If your organization changes its logo, you can update that here. So again, students can see it and know how to identify you. The full description is what pops up on, I'm gonna close it out, pops up on your organization's page. So it would be considered the full description. And then your contact information. So if your organization has a email address, I would update that and put that here so that students are not emailing you directly, but they can email your organization. If you have an external website, you can put that here. All your social media links can go here. So Facebook, if you have a YouTube page, I'm not really sure who uses Flickr anymore, but there's that. Google+, Pinterest, all of those can be added up here. This is where you will put in, underneath additional information, this is where you will put in, are your general body meetings open to the students? When do they occur? Where do your executive board meetings happen and when? How much are your membership dues? This is something that we added because a lot of students want to know up front how much they have to pay in order to be a part of the organization and what they're getting out of it. And then we also added, what are your membership requirements? So again, people know on the front end what it takes to be a part of your organization. You will also add your advisor's email. And so that's what goes underneath the About section. Again, the Events tab takes you to all the previous events that you put in or creating an event. The News tab, again, as shown earlier, is where you can send out and create news articles for your organization. The Gallery is, again, where you can upload all the pictures for your organization. So we kind of did some testers and sample ones where we uploaded pictures of old executive boards for COP. Your documents, this is where your constitution, your full body meeting stuff, report guidelines, anything of that nature will be held. Forms is for like Again, end of the year report, signing up for the org fair, paying fines, or whatever forms or submissions. When you do your e-board applications, you can put that underneath manage forms. Each organization can run their elections through 1891Connect. And that is a different workshop for a different day, as that is a long process to create that and generate that. But you can run your elections through there. And you also can track your organization's service hours through your organization's portal. So that is some of the membership features. Once you are a member of your organization and you are given access, you can do that. One thing I did not point out is on your roster, you can create different positions. So like your president, vice president, you can label all of those in managed positions when you go under there. So you'll just create your positions and it'll populate this page. So you can create the different positions for your specific organizations. Are there any questions regarding the membership feature aspect? No? Okay, I will now switch over to the registration process.
Shantae, I have one question.
Yes.
In regards to student profiles. When you add students to the 1891Connect, once they've graduated out or they're no longer in the organization anymore, what does it look like taking them out, or do they just stay there?
So you can remove members from your organization. If they are no longer a member or they haven't paid their dues, you can take them and remove them out yourself. So let me go back for a second. You would just simply click on when you go on underneath your organization page, you can click on this little pencil.
Mm-hmm.
I lied. Click on select. You'll click on the checkbox and you can just end their membership, and that'll take them out of the organization.
Got it. Thank you.
If they are no longer a student here, for your second part of the question, if they are no longer a student at the university, they will automatically be taken out of the portal. 1891Connect only lets current students be a part, current student, faculty, and staff be a part of the site. Once you have graduated and you still need access to your co-curricular transcript, you will just have to email the Office of Student Activities or the Office of Student Development for it. Are there any other questions? Okay, so now going through the registration process. So re-registering for your organization for the fall 2020-2021 semester is an annual process for all student organizations. For registration, you will have to pay the registration fee before you gain access to the 1891Connect system in order to complete the registration part. Only the president and vice president will, either the president or vice president will be able to submit the registration forms, and the advisor has to approve them. All registration fees are non-refundable.
Once you have access 1891Connect, on the home screen, you will see yellow alert boxes. What is currently labeled student organization fines will be changed to student organization registration. In this same box, you will see the OSA store link. You will click that link and it will take you to the Office of Student Activities store. You will see the boxes labeled student organization registration. You will click it. You will add the current registration fee to your cart. You will fill out the required information, the name of the person completing registration, either the president or vice president, the name of the student organization position, which means the person who is filling this out. So if you are not the president or vice president filling or paying for the registration, you will fill and select which role that you have in the organization. the name of the purchaser, the contact email of the purchaser, and the phone number for the purchaser. You will then click continue. It will allow you to review the information that you have put in and then fully submit your payment. This will complete the student organization payment portion of registration.
So once you have completed the payment part, you will then, once you log into 1891 Connect from your Action Center, again, only presidents and vice presidents will be able to see this information. From your Action Center homepage, you will see a list of organizations. And from here, there are two ways you can re-register your organization if your organization is eligible. If your organization has an outstanding fine from the 2019-2020 academic year, your organization's registration will not populate until those fines have been paid. So please, when you pay your registration fee, you also might want to go ahead and pay your fines because it won't populate until the fines are paid. So from there, you have the single organization view. You will click the name of an organization to navigate to the management section of that organization. Again, if the organization is eligible for registration, you will see this picture below. If they are not, you will see also kind of a message saying that this organization isn't eligible for re-registration at the moment. If you see this, click the re-register the organization button to start the registration process. The second way to view registration is in your Action Center. Again, that is clicking on the kind of like the 6 tile button on 1891 Connect. It'll take you to or on the home page, you will see this re-register an organization button on the right-hand side. And then you will be shown a list of organizations for the entire campus. You will locate your organization by scrolling through the next button if it's not on the first page. And again, if your organization is eligible for registration, you will see the blue re-register button. You will also see if the president is already in process of submitting your registration. It'll say an existing submission is already pending approval if someone has already done it for you as well. So keep that in mind. But again, only presidents and vice presidents can complete the re-registration process. And if you can't see either of those functionalities, that means that I do not have you listed as a president or vice president, and you will need to email copeboard@ncat.edu in order for us to fix that information. Many of the steps for re-registration have already been completed by myself. Again, I just used the information I gained from the previous exec boards for your organization through their end of the year reports to update your information. If that information is outdated through the summer, then that is something you can update when you go through the re-registration process. Just again, click through it, fill out what you can, fill out what you know to the best of your ability. And then once you have submitted your registration, it will go to your advisor for advisor approval. Once you hit the submit button, it'll go to your advisor. Once your advisor has hit approve, it will then come to the Office of Student Activities for us to approve. Registration is currently set to open July 1st, which is next Wednesday at 8 a.m. Both the site on 1891 Connect and the registration, the OSA store sites will be launching that day. The registration fee is $35. Registration fees will increase August the 1st, and it will go up to $50 per organization. A part of registration is also attending the annual org retreat. So org retreat will occur in a virtual format on August the 22nd from 11 to 4. And we will send out that full detailed schedule soon for the presidents and vice presidents and any other members who have a desire to attend, but presidents and vice presidents are required to attend. Registration will close on September the 1st at 5:00 p.m. So if the payment is not made or the registration forms are not filled out, then you will not be a registered student organization for the academic year. So if you pay, please make sure you also fill out the 1891 Connect form, because again, registration fees are non-refundable. So it's just an extra $35 that goes into the pot, or $50, but that'll be your loss for your organization and not ours. So please, once you pay, please make sure you fill out the forms for your organization. Are there any questions regarding this process within 1891 Connect? Any other questions overall about this system, or things that you all need to know in order to complete registration, or want to know for the upcoming fall semester regarding this system? Go once.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if our org needs like a logo or anything, and we're doing that right now, do we still submit that? Who do we submit that virtually to get it approved?
To get your logo approved?
Yes.
When you complete the registration form, I will be able to see your updated logo. If there's an issue with it, I've never really had too many issues with logos. As long as, again, it does not have university trademarks in it, such as the Aggie Bulldog or certain trademark images, there's really no issues. The interlock, things of that nature cannot be in your logos. That's pretty much the overall university requirement for logos. But other than that, I've never really had a problem with them. But once you submit your registration forms, I will be able to see it. If there's an issue with it, I will contact y'all.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I had a question.
Go ahead.
So just to clarify, as of right now, are we allowed to be hosting any type of virtual events before being re-registered? Like if we wanted to do a virtual like Q&A or something like that for our current members, are we okay to do that?
In what manner? Like, are you doing it just on Instagram, Twitter?
We were still discussing it, but maybe a Zoom call, or in any manner really. Are we allowed to host anything within the org right now?
As of right now, I'm gonna just say go ahead. Sure.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Well, I got a few more things to say, and if y'all think of any other questions, again, feel free to unmute yourself or drop them in the group chat. As the Office of Student Activities, we have a few resources available for student organizations. We have the Cost of Student Activities Fund. We have the fundraising and solicitation forms. We have storage lockers that'll be available upon returning to campus for student organizations. Student organizations can request up to 60 black and white or 35 colored copies of an event flyer to be printed out in our office per event. We do have computers in our office that student organizations are allowed to use if a member of the Council of Presidents Executive Board is not currently working in that area. We do have pretty open collaboration and workspace for student organizations to come in and make changes to any posters or materials that they may have, or just to come in and talk up through events as well, which also goes back to the individual appointments with the COP Executive Board. We offer leadership development trainings and workshops for student organizations. We also host, again, a different variety of education and training workshops for not only members, but executive boards in particular. We do new student organization consultations. And then again, we are always here just for general assistance. If you wanna stop by and ask questions about a possible program or email them to us, we are always happy to kind of help you all as students think through those different resources and the avenues of what your student organization can do on our campus. For all presidents and vice presidents, there is a COP group me. Again, only presidents and vice presidents are allowed to be in this group chat. But there are a few rules of engagement. There are quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. This goes for direct messages as well. If you have an organization-specific question, please email them to copeboard@ncat.edu. And then when asking questions in the group chat that don't apply and or pertain to all members of student organizations or all presidents and vice presidents, you can add the executive board, COP executive board members. We just ask that you allow for a 4-hour response time. This is because, again, you all are students, so class comes first, internships and things of that nature. And then always ask 2 COP board officers before asking me. When sending emails to the COP board at ncat.edu email, please state the full name of your organization, the acronym of your organization, and provide full details or an explanation of your question and or problem so that we can fully address your needs and concerns to the best of our ability with all the given information. Outside of the group meeting, we always update for the Office of Student Activities and the Council of Presidents via Twitter, Instagram, and again, email. So those are our handles and emails for social media. Upon returning to campus, we are all currently teleworking. So upon returning to campus, our office is open from 8 to 5 p.m. We are located in the Student Center, Suite 332. Phone number 336-285-4930 if y'all ever want to, but don't call right now because anybody there. But starting in August, we'll be back. So if there are no more questions, comments, and or concerns, again, I would like to thank you all for joining me today on this training for 1891 Connect. This recording will be available to you all to refer back to, as well as we are working on additional videos for to assist you with the transition and updates of this new website. So again, if there are no more questions, feel free to unmute yourself. Again, we're here to help you, but we will stick around on the call for a few more minutes for those who have questions but don't want to ask them in front of everybody, or you can direct chat us, however this works. Yeah, direct chat us, but we are here for you. But thank you again for attending this workshop, and that concludes our workshop for today. Thank you all.
Great job, Shantia.
Thank you, girl.
Bye.
Wow.